Tourism and economic development are a huge part of what we think about when we are looking to grow our city and develop our city. And so we know that over I believe it was $9 million in 2023 was generated through tourism in tax receipts. And so I think that comes out to about $117.1 million in tourist dollars were spent in Lufkin in 2023. And so when we take a look at the kind of comprehensively how people navigate our area, how they find our industry, how they find local tourism partners like the Museum of East Texas and the Naranjo, our zoo, the Ellen Trout Zoo, there's not any wayfinding signage in the Lufkin area to speak of. We have our gateway signs, which what you were talking about. We have those at the different entrances into Lufkin, but there's not a lot of turn here to see, or at the next exit that showcases those tourism and economic development type businesses in our area. So our city council, along with our administration, wants to take a deeper look into how we can develop a comprehensive wayfinding plan. So those gateway signs are just a small portion of what the big picture looks like for how we promote industry and tourism and quality of life in Lufkin and Angelina County. There are 5 different points when you take a look at wayfinding signage, the reason why that they're important. One of those being branding. It brands your city, and so it makes it recognizable. When people are looking to visit, they're looking to build a business in your area, they want to know that they're what the community looks like, what it feels like, and part of that is achieved through that city branding. The current wayfinding or gateway signage was built, I don't know, 12, 14 years ago, and it's not in a branding style that I think is current. And so we wanted to take a look and make sure that what we put into the future is long-standing and also works with the gateway signage or the wayfinding signage that you'll see coming up hopefully within the next couple of years that will promote and be consistent all around our city. So it's more than just taking out the gateway signs and putting new ones in, but it's how can we make sure that the branding and the cohesiveness between the gateway signs, the wayfinding signage, and the image of our city all work together cohesively to drive economic development, to bring new industry and tourism and growth to our city.
I know you mentioned kind of in the near future, but when can we kind of see something back in that spot?
Absolutely. We don't have an answer for that just yet. What we do know is that our city council approved funding to start a wayfinding plan. So in the next few months, we'll be reaching out to different companies, getting bids on to find that wayfinding plan, to go through and find all the key areas throughout our city that need to be highlighted and promoted through that wayfinding signage. Once we locate and find a partner that can create that plan for us, then we'll start to putting together a comprehensive design scheme. So again, it's about making sure we're making smart decisions, that we're using money wisely, that we're looking for what's best for our future, and that we're driving more economic growth for our city through this process. So, long term, maybe a year, maybe shorter than that, but there's really not a definite plan at this point other than we are seeking to develop a wayfinding plan.
Is there going to be, or do you think within that planning that you guys would involve the community and how they're going to look, or maybe their style or anything like that?
Sure. I think there's definitely opportunity for community involvement, whether that's just giving them a comprehensive look of what it will look like for the future, how to participate. We're currently, which people can participate in, and will help the city to determine, is our public art survey. So if you go to lufkincreative.com, you can take the public art survey. That's geared more for downtown, but what it does is it helps us to know what our citizens and residents want to see, what type of art that they want to see represented. And that will also play into what our wayfinding signage looks like and what those gateway signage looks like. So yes, there is a way for them to give their opinion and to give their thoughts through that survey. And like I said, at lufkincreative.com, it's a public art survey on their webpage. And so I have access to that information, and we'll be able to use that as a way to help guide what public art, because those gateway signs are public art. And so what that public art looks like for our city as a whole. You know, the signs were beautiful, and the thought process behind them was incredible, to represent the pine trees, to represent the rivers that are so important to our area. Nature is a huge part of what makes Angelina County and Lufkin so memorable and beautiful, and why so many people want to visit our area. Unfortunately, you know, we have a lot of visitors who want to stop and take photos on those beautiful tree cookies, as we call them. But what happens is that they climb on them, and so when they do, they knock off the letters. They damage the solar panels that operate the lighting, and so there was constant maintenance and upkeep because of vandalism and people climbing on a structure that wasn't meant to be climbed on. So looking forward, the new design may be visitor friendly, so that way it is an opportunity for people to take a snapshot in front of the Lufkin sign to create those memorable moments with themselves and their families. But for now, you know, the signs that we had a great life, you know, over 12 years, and we look forward to seeing what comes next, so that way more families can make more memories with that new gateway signage.
Good. Rest in peace to the tree cookies. I didn't know we called them that. That's yeah. How much do you think it'll cost to do that wayfinding survey?
There's really, you know, we'll go out to bid. I don't know for right now. We'll reach out to some reputable businesses. I believe if you go back and look at some of the minutes, I think there was a portion in the city council, there was a portion of dollars allotted to that for wayfinding signage, not just the study total, but for wayfinding signage. But we will do our best to make sure that whatever company we go with is the most economic and will provide us the best quality product. There was one sign that was on 59, Highway 59 North, that we removed several years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, when the I-69 construction started. So it was there, we took that out, and that's the picture that you'll see on Visit Lufkin. That particular sign has been out of commission for the last 4 years. Yeah. So it's sat, you know, without anyone climbing on it and tearing on it and all of that. So it does look a little bit nicer and neater in those pictures than what some of our other ones look like, because it's been out of commission for the last couple of years because of the highway construction. We do have one of those still in storage, but the rest of them have been taken care of.